Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network, a division of the Multiple Sclerosis Global Support Network. The following program broadcast is an original creation by the broadcast entity. Discussion within the following broadcast should be used for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice or consultation. Before considering application of any broadcast content in the following program, please consult your healthcare provider. If you feel you are having a medical emergency, please contact your local health services for immediate assistance. MS&Me Media and the Multiple Sclerosis Global Support Network do not guarantee or warrant the accuracy of information in the broadcast to follow. The Multiple Sclerosis Global Support Network provisions broadcast services to program hosts. Information discussed in the broadcast does not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or goals of the network and are solely those of the show broadcast host. Should you wish to host a broadcast, please visit our website at msmemedia.com and submit a request to become a program host. We thank you for listening to the MS&Me Radio Network. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back to Ugly Like Me on MS&Me Radio, powered by the MS Global Support Network, which is the very first in MS and disease awareness, coming to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, internationally. And with that, I always have to give a big shout out to my friends who not only have broadcasts, but they help us out on the other side and make sure that we're always running smoothly so that we can help you and each other, actually, because you guys help me. So with that said, a big shout out to Erica and Ted and Cynthia and all the people on the other side. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much, and I'm happy to be part of your family. With me in the studio today is the one and only Sophie Tripp.
Hello.
Hello, Sophie.
This is my theme music.
That is your theme. So do you walk around with like a soundtrack over your head?
Honestly, I wish I could.
When bad things happen, it's like dun 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 dun.
Toilet flush.
with the toilet flush.
In the rooster.
That's a good segue into why you're here, Soph. What
Yeah.
are we talking about today?
Well, I am another autoimmune disease.
Just another.
Owner, person, thing, jigger. So I have Crohn's disease, and I'm going to talk about it today with Jamie. So thank you
Great.
for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. Just so that our listeners know, Sophie is also my niece. Hence, her last name is Tripp, and I go by Jamie Tributitis. And so it's such a blessing to have Sophie here. And Soph, how old are you now?
I'm 14 now.
Sophie,
Ninth grade.
I always see her as 4, even though she's grown up. And I have to say, while it breaks my heart that she's going through this, I'm so blessed to know that she has a name for it, and she's starting early, advocating and helping other children and adults with it by doing things like this. So welcome to the studio, Soph. So, Soph, is there anything you want to start with?
I
telling
can
us
start
about?
with some basic facts about, like, what it is I have, I guess.
Great. I can
Cool.
want to hear the facts that I know.
Sure.
I'm super concerned about the fact that in the last 4 decades, the amount of children in the United States who suffer with a chronic illness has actually doubled. It was 12.8%, I believe, in 1994, and it went up to 26.6 in 2006. And as of 2017, I don't really have a number, but it's safe to assume that that number has grown exponentially. And that's only for the United States, and this is an international radio. I promise I tried to find a statistic for international numbers, and I couldn't find one, but I can go continent by continent. Can I do that? You think I could do that?
We can just add it all together.
Did you ever see Shawshank Redemption?
No.
Oh gosh, okay, I don't want to spoil it, but if that guy could do what he did and his patience, then I can certainly find that number. Just we'll have to do that in our next broadcast. So, do we have we have like such a great soundboard with different noises. Yeah. Some of them having to do with Crohn's.
Yeah.
And
we got the old toilet flush.
All right.
I don't know if you can hear that.
Where's our woohoo?
Woohoo.
There we go.
Here, I can turn the volume up. There we go. A little bit
Great.
louder that time.
Sense of humor always helps these things, kids, babes. So with that, can you tell us a little bit about what you have, Soph, and how that
Sure thing.
works?
So I have one of the.
Wait, Jenny had a great epiphany. Your shirt.
Oh yes,
I love your
yes.
shirt. Can you tell them? They can't see you.
Yeah. So I'm wearing a shirt that has a Bob's Burger reference. I don't know if people watch that still, but
Or if it's international.
yeah, I don't know either. But it pretty much just says on it, like a nice long drawn out
Just like a
yeah, like that.
And do you wear it a lot?
I wear it quite often actually. I wear it during most of my appointments and any major procedures that I go through, any of that, just because it's kind of like channeling your inner
something. I
Yeah.
just think it's amazing that you have a comfort shirt
Yeah.
and that you have a sense of humor about it. And I think, take what comforts you and have a sense of humor. If that's how you cope, we all cope in different ways, and I'm just proud of you for doing.
I like your shirt here too there.
Oh, you got the Blondie reference. Sophie's only 14, so I didn't know that she'd get
Blondie
my
reference.
proud Blondie vintage
Just
tee.
kinda, fashion can also be
I'm
drawn into the mix.
Yeah,
Radio
I'm all
show.
about fashion, rocking compression socks, like Blondie and compression socks.
But
they're rainbow, and so
Yeah.
I still
good.
keep it. We're
Yeah.
good. High five it. Where's my woo button? What was that? Woo. Okay, so
Okay.
tell us a little bit about Crohn's.
So Crohn's disease is one of the diseases that follow under the umbrella of IBD, which is inflammatory bowel disease. So underneath that little umbrella, there's Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, which are the two major forms. And then under that, there is indeterminate colitis, which is kind of like a gray area for the whole IBD scene. Otherwise, there's 1.6 million people. I'm pretty sure that's internationally. I'm not positive, though, that have IBD.
What is it?
1.6 million people in general. It could be just the U.S.
You know what?
Not
with
really sure.
With my other numbers about children suffering with chronic disease, that has to be an international number.
Yeah.
If I
Okay.
did a quick
So,
gander
yeah.
at my stats book.
Crohn's disease is an autoimmune disease, obviously. That's why I'm here. That affects the digestive tract. So, pretty much vague description.
Yeah, and you know what, though? That's okay.
Just basic information, as long as have an idea of what it is.
Yeah, and to anybody who's listening who's new to the autoimmune disease world, an autoimmune disease is basically when your body starts to attack itself. Something's getting disrupted. There's some sort of miswiring, foreign thing in you that ends up sending out antibodies. And you end up attacking yourself. Your body attacks itself. So that's what that is. And Crohn's, like MS, is one of many. And often the symptoms tend to mirror themselves, which only complicates your journey into getting a proper diagnosis. So how long did it take for you to get a diagnosis?
So what happened, I was kind of like a weird long story, but they thought I had about 2 to 3 different things before actually knowing that it was Crohn's disease. I was told I had an eating disorder, which was false. I was told that I had celiac disease, which was false. And so then I had
I just gave her water, if anybody
that's why I
heard
said
our
thank
little
you.
whispering. Here you go. You're welcome. And what was
I
that?
stepped on the piano. Anywho, so I had a colonoscopy endoscopy procedure, and that same day I was
Can
told.
I ask you this?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you were out for the colonoscopy part?
Yeah.
Were you out for the
Everything.
Colonoscopy? Goes through the colon, so it goes through your bum,
A
basically.
tube. A camera
Yeah,
tube.
and it's a personal, feels very intimate thing. So you were out for that. They put you
Yeah.
under. But for me, honestly, especially with my lesions in my neck, and I do fear about the endoscopy.
Yeah, I had a complication with that.
Did you have?
Yeah.
All right. So, number my first question is: were you awake?
I was awake for none of it. So I pretty much went into. I gave me my own hospital.
Well, tell them first what it is. We have to assume that they know.
So the endoscopy procedure.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much what happens.
Yes. Not yeah.
Sorry.
I'm such an American. Yeah.
So pretty much what happens is I went into a hospital room and they perform the procedure, which is like that long tube with a camera on it, and for an endoscopy, it goes down your throat, and they travel down your intestines and your esophagus, and and bleh. And endoscopy can only go so far. So I had to get the colonoscopy as well, which goes up your backside,
Your bum,
and kind of goes through the bottom
Do you
part.
have a sound for that? You made your own. She
So-
did that with her own mouth. Good job.
So I'm pretty master at it now. But yeah, even though I got both of those done, they still could, like, there were still parts of my digestive tract that they still haven't explored. So that's when I got my video capsule endoscopy, which we'll get into in a second.
That's when you
Yeah.
swallow it like it's a pill, right?
Yeah, but back to like what I went through. So I got my own not hotel room. That would be great though.
That'd be awesome. I was gonna give you a high five.
I got my own hospital room, and I kind of just sat in there with my parents for a little while, and then the anesthesiologist came in, got that done, and then I got all dizzy, and before I knew it was in there, I was out, and then I woke up.
I'm so grateful for anesthesiologists.
Yeah.
I had to go through that yesterday, and man, at
It's-
first I wasn't cool with it until it happened, and I'm feeling the pain now. I thank the universe for
It's
science.
it's the best nap that you'll ever have. I can tell you that right now.
Just be careful what you say.
Yeah.
Because I believe I wrote to my station manager.
Yeah.
And I didn't remember it. And then
Yeah.
I had to call Erica and be like, oh my gosh, what did I say? I'm so sorry.
Thankfully, I didn't say anything too stupid. But so that happened, and while they were performing the endoscopy, I was having trouble breathing, so they had to stick a second tube to help with my airways.
To keep your airway open.
Yeah, because I was kind of like choking on it, but everything
That is my
was
worst
fine.
fear, Sophie. I
And-
just realized.
Kind of like the worst thing that pretty much happened was I had a little bit of a sore throat after, and not even everybody has that. Just because I had to get that second tube was the only.
I have to say, as your aunt, I am so grateful that you didn't have to feel the pain
Yeah.
or the emotional things that go along with having to stick something up your bum, or to know what it's like to feel.
Yeah.
So I think never. I apologize
And same
for
to you.
interrupting you.
No, I'm good. I'm done.
You're
with
good.
that. Yeah. That
So-
was how my experience went.
That's on
Closing
my-
sentence.
So I was doing an interview with Yahoo with a wonderful woman named Kathy, who called a smidge early. I wasn't expecting it might have been 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
and I hadn't had coffee yet. But I think that Kathy was so gracious. I was just honest with her, and we handled that. So can I get a woohoo from? Woo! Thanks. And thanks to Kathy, because she really woke up with me, and we did a kick-ass interview. I think, all things considered. But the whole focus was body image, and body image, especially as women in the societies that we grow in, it's a tricky thing. So when you add Crohn's to it, which a lot of it affects your body, how much weight you lose, how much weight you gain if you're on treatment. Can you tell us a little bit about that before and after?
Sure. So before I started whatever medical journey that I had to embark on, I had a kind of not very good outlook on my body. I was very unhealthily thin, and I kind of wasn't happy with myself, and I fell into this weird spell where I just tried to replace, almost make up for it in other aspects of my
Do you
life.
think that's why you're stressed?
Probably, to be quite honest.
If most people listening don't know you, to say a little bit about my niece, Sophie, she's definitely type A. She's a perfectionist. She pitches on her softball team. She does cheer so well that you might be sitting in front of the telly and you'll see her compete at Disney World. Doing flips all the time. She does amazing YouTube videos and parodies, and actually because of that she can do stage makeup and sort of transform young people into looking very old or creepy or things like that. So I can use that to actually give tips to adults who aren't sure if their children or loved ones have Crohn's. I thought that you were insanely athletic. So your body, to me, I just thought was insanely athletic, strong and muscular. You were thin, but you were muscular. You were still a powerhouse. And that can sort of mislead people into not realizing you really do have an underlying condition. So I'm using that and I'm sharing that with you guys in hopes that perhaps it'll help you someday if you're ever going this road, which I pray you don't.
Yeah, so I kind of like fell off the growth chart, and that also affected like my self-esteem and everything, because like just knew like that it wasn't normal. So
I'm surprised the growth charts work. I
Yeah.
didn't know that they worked.
and so after I started like everything that happened, I kind of went back on the growth chart, and that made me feel really good. And I kind of like
Give
noticed.
you a woo. I'll woo you. There. Here.
So I kind of like, I don't know, I just felt better about myself just knowing that I was kind of getting back on like the normal part of my life,
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Because how much do you want to spend on your body? Honestly.
Yeah.
And this is for girls and for women. Women are so caught up in their bodies. And I have to tell you, I've been, I think I was the height closer to a size 20, and I'm a 2 now. So I've run the gamut, including I've been heavy even in my marathon days, but your body changes. And I have to tell you, and you please believe me and trust me when I say this, your body, you know, in terms of health, very, very important. But other than that, it's probably the most boring part about you.
It's just a case.
It's just a casing. It's your vessel. And love it and respect it. But never think that that's what defines you and makes you awesome and makes you uniquely you. There are so many things that make Sophie uniquely her and amazing. And like the school that she got into that starts tomorrow. It's just, you get so tired of people focusing on your body after a while. I can only imagine.
And so, like, after, I started to come back to pretty much reality, and I, like, felt better, I felt like I looked better, and just, like, pretty much made my mood overall better.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't so sad all the time, so I didn't, like, I'm still learning not to take out things on other people.
Yes.
So, because I did a lot of that myself. I think that's a cool thing to do.
It's funny, I was just admitting to somebody, and perhaps it was my audience. I think it was my husband first and then my audience, but I didn't realize how self-enveloped I was and how selfish I was. Everything that I was going through, my husband was suffering from and my children were suffering from, and I was sort of reacting in a way that was very selfish because I was so stuck in my illness and how I felt. And I wasn't giving them what they deserved. So I can absolutely relate to what you're saying. Did you finish your point there?
Yep.
You did. Do you have any coping tips for other
So I wanted to
kids?
mention I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch a lot of, like, just videos in general, movies, things like that.
By the way, her YouTube is SHHH. It's Sophie, SOPHIE. That's her YouTube channel if you want to.
Thank you for the plug.
You got it.
But I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I used to watch even more. So there's this one woman that has really, really affected me so positively, and I wish I could meet her and, like, thank her and, like, give her a hug.
Do it now. You can give her a shout out now.
Her name is Michelle, and she's from Pocket Full of Primary on YouTube. She's a teacher, actually, which is kind of like a weird thing for me to watch.
I'll reach out to her as well.
But she is a really awesome person because she's very honest with the way that she speaks to her camera or / audience, and she, she knows that she needs to give herself a break sometimes, and she, like, makes that very, like, imminent. Is that the word?
Does she have Crohn's?
No, she doesn't have any
illness.
not that I know of.
That we know of.
But
and everybody is sick to some degree.
It's just that she, like, shows how real people can be with themselves, and she's a perfectionist, like, so there's ways that I can relate with her.
Yes.
But she just is very, very, like, she's broken down in her videos before, and, like, I find that watching her, I know that it's okay to, like, be down on myself a little bit more.
Or to break down and show people that you might be weak, you might be tired. I can share with you guys, I had a whole bunch of needles stuck in my body yesterday, and I am feeling it today. I think I fell off the couch, and it's the first day my children started school. So, so it's funny. Sophie said, you're probably acting that way because you're in pain, Jay. So thanks. Thanks, kid.
No problem. Yeah, I just wanted to
Big shout out to her. I'm going to send her a thank you letter for helping my niece.
She's a young woman too. Like,
What's
she's
the name
in
of her channel?
Pocket Full of Primary, like primary
That's
school.
such a
Yeah,
good,
she's like, I want
good name.
alliteration in my name. I don't know.
That
I
is.
thought she was really cool.
Alliteration is like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Like
anything that
sounds.
starts with the same sound over and over.
Mhm.
I used to be a language arts teacher. Can you tell? You know, thinking of YouTube and Pockets.
In primary.
Pocket Full of Primary. Are there any apps that you can share with us? Because you're
Yeah.
really up to that stuff.
So
That will help people with
yeah.
Crohn's,
Yeah.
young adults.
And just anyone in general too. I use, as does my mom, use this app called the Calm app. It's literally CALM app, and I always have.
I think I have that.
Yeah.
Does it give you music?
Yeah.
That you can play?
I have difficulty falling asleep. I have difficulty calming down, all that kind of stuff. So my mom found it, and I tried it, and pretty much what there's meditation sections of it, there's music, and there's sleep sections of it. And, there's things that, like, read you, like, adult stories to go to sleep. Not adult stories, but, like...
That sounds a little shady.
Like, just not, like, once upon a time there was princess, but, like, it's, like...
Cool stories.
Yeah.
Just, like, cool, hip stories.
Cool stories. So there's that. There's, like, this one that I was trying the other day called 7 Days of Sleep, where it kind of teaches you how to breathe better as you fall asleep. And then you're
Breathing is
supposed to...
so important, like meditating. So
You're supposed to use it hand in hand with, like, the morning sessions where you can meditate or you just listen to it, and it kind of just helps you, like, realize a whole bunch of stuff. And it's a really nice app just to help yourself calm down and, like, get away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. So
awesome.
It's free, too, for Android and Apple.
There's another one called, like, Doctor Appointment, something like
Yeah.
that, where it tells you schedule in your doctor's appointments, but also there's a subsection that you can type in questions of things so that you don't forget. People with MS, not so much Crohn's, suffer from memory fog. My niece always has to help me with my memory fog, so she knows very well. And then you can put them in there, and they will keep you on track, and then you can check it off once you've asked it.
Yeah.
And you can even type in what the answer was, because sometimes I can't report back to me what I've learned or what I said, or they're very, very important. The apps help a lot.
Yeah.
People think technology, they think Facebook, YouTube, things like that are accessible, but if used for the proper function, to organize, to be effective, productive, to help you get to the doctors, to help you maybe reach out to other people, communities like Living Like You for the MS community, they're just priceless. They're invaluable. So are there any other apps? I kind of interrupting you, so
No, you haven't at all, actually. You're good.
I almost feel,
You're good.
I almost feel too comfortable in the...
Oh, no!
Woo! The rooster we use when I'm, like, asleep and, like, just roll out of bed and do a show. But I'm almost too natural with you guys. I feel completely comfortable. It's like I'm just hanging out with my friends. All right, so we talked about coping strategies. I have to say that probably the number of kids with Crohn's is drastically underestimated if you do find a number. So please reach out to me at velocitygrl@msn.com and let me know if you find anything. I'm very curious. I have to bring this up real quick before I talk about my promo. Kim Kardashian body image and those standards. Mm-hmm. Okay, I feel like Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians in general, the clan, they did a great job of making people accept bigger, fuller bodies. But I definitely have another thing. But I just wanted to, I'll shut up, but ask you, do you have any thoughts about the new standards they've set?
Well, I like that, there's a lot of more acceptance in the world now of the different bodies and, not standards, but like shapes and sizes and all of that.
It is a standard. Yeah. It's what people, expect.
And I think it's great. But at the same time, I know that there's been a lot of, like, negativity towards, like, the thinner people. Mm-hmm. And even if, like, you can't control your thinness, or if you are, like, a fitness freak, that, like, loves to do all that, I just feel like it's kind of affecting other people, like the Meghan Trainor song.
Oh my gosh, I was just talking to Tony about that, where they're like, I ain't no size 2, but I can shake it, like I was supposed to do, or something Mama told me. And I felt like, why do you have to diss my body?
Knock other people
to elevate yours.
Yeah.
let's just minimize. It's almost like the Kardashian phenomena has just brought us up to this new obsession with bodies.
Yeah.
It's just a different type. And I'd really be happy if we just stopped focusing on the bodies and started focusing on who people are, like the cool parts.
Sounds cheesy, but it's true.
It is. Yeah, it's so true. It's so cliche. And our bodies are constantly changing. Our faces are constantly changing. Beauty's constantly changing. But the uniqueness that you have in yourself, that's a different type of changing that only grows and gets more awesome with time. Did I just take over your answer?
No.
I might have just
I like when other people play off of it. It's good.
Okay. So real quick, I just wanted to have a little talk about a promo. I wrote a children's book called Zoe Bowie Sings Despite All Sad Things.
Great book.
Thank you so much, Sophie. I still have, I can put it up on YouTube and I can put it up on the MS&Me Radio Network page. So it's about, the first half of the book, it's about Zoe Bowie and her brother Maple, who are my children, and how they deal with having, thanks for that noise, Sophie, and how they deal with having a mother with MS. And Zoe's very angry at first because she not only has a mother who's newly diagnosed with MS, but a little brother named Meatball who keeps bothering her and getting all the attention. So she sings when she gets the quote-unquote mean reds, and she sings. So, and usually when I read it with children, they sing those parts, the ones that are in the musical quotes with me. And the first half is in black and white. The second half, as Zoe starts to sing a different type of song, a song of gratitude, where she realizes she learned from adversity, and learning how to cope and adapt with her mother has taught her so much. And she's able to sort of save her best friend because of the things she learned from her mother being ill. So I am the author of that book, and my illustrator is Johnny J. Keene. He's a great artist. He and I worked on that for 1.5 years, but Erica and I were talking, and we were thought about a giveaway. So if you go on to MS&Me Radio Network and give us a like, and then go to uglylikeme / Jamie Tributitis on Facebook and give us a like, the first 5 people, I tend to give in and go to 10, will get a free signed copy sent to their home of the book, and I believe hardcover. So just like us, and on both pages, MS&Me Radio, like it, then switch over to Jamie Tributitis hyphen. That's a hyphen? No, backslash.
Yeah, backslash.
You know what I mean, right? Ugly Like Me on Facebook. Top 5 on paying attention. You will win the books, and I will give you a shout out on here. And the next 5, if you do those likes, send me something you want to give a shout out to somebody for, and I will happily do that. Just write it out, and I'll communicate with you, and I'll read it to your loved ones, whoever you want me to give a shout out to. I'd be proud to do that. Sophie, I can't tell you how much it means to me. You have so much to do the day before school, and you're coming here and you're hanging out with your aunts to do a show about illness. I'm so proud of you and the advocate you're becoming, and just know that you can go so far with this, and I pray that you're the next book writer in this family. High five it. All right. Also, remember, you can always write to me at my handle on Twitter is, what is my Twitter handle? Jamie. It's at Jamie Ugly Like Me. Instagram, it's just Jamie, Jamie. Then it's a capital U, Titus, Titus. And my email is velocitygrl@msn.com. And I'm always there. And I read it a lot, and I will respond if you reach out. So go hit those likes and win those books, or win whatever it is you want me to read on the radio internationally. We love you, and be well, and thank you, Sophie. Give me a handshake. That's a handshake that you can't see. We're also on YouTube, so this will be on YouTube if you need to access it again, and it'll be there for a whole long time. Just search MS&Me Radio Network, and you will find us, okay? We're sending you love and light, and please always be well.